You are about to listen to the Exclusively Here with Diego Santoyo podcast. Hey, you guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in and wanting to actually listen. This is my very first episode of my podcast, Exclusively Here with Diego Santoyo. I'm so excited to be doing this. I am a little bit about myself. I am from California, born and raised in a small town in the Fresno County area. I just graduated from Fresno State, received my bachelor's degree there, and I'm just trying to do a lot of things at the moment to try and help my career and, just to get it going. So I'm, excited to be doing this. This is something really new. I've never done this before, but it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. And the way my podcast is actually going to go is I'm going to divide it up into two segments. The first segment is both segments are actually just going to be like news related things. Everything's going to be just news. And the first segment is going to deal with things that are happening around the world, in our country, all that good stuff. And then the second segment is going to be all things pop culture. So I'm really excited to try it out and see where it goes. So I hope you guys enjoy it. And there's going to be one break in between the segments. And I believe that is it. Yeah, that's going to be it. So, all right. So, with that being said, shall we get started? I think we should. So, how about we start off with the Trump assassination attempt? So, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but a few days ago, Donald Trump had a rally out in Las Vegas. And while it was going on, a British man was arrested for doing something really stupid. And I mean, really, really stupid, you guys. His name was Michael, and apparently he tried to steal a police officer's gun so he could use it to kill Donald Trump. Now, I mean, I don't know why he would do this. Who goes and tries to steal a police officer's gun? It's just, it's not going to happen, and you're not going to get away with it. But Michael got arrested, and it was later discovered that he was in the US illegally because he overstayed his visa. So now this guy is in more trouble. Apparently, he hates Donald Trump. So, uh, yeah, apparently he hates Donald Trump so much that he's willing to get into all this trouble and pretty much ruin his future. But whatever. I guess or I guess he had been planning this for some time now, and it was definitely a fail. And I'm glad it was. That's this wouldn't have been okay. Okay, if he would have actually gotten away with it, if he would have actually shot Donald Trump, it just wouldn't have been okay. Donald has not been nice. He's said some pretty hurtful things, a lot of mean things, and I mean, but I wouldn't want the guy to get shot. It just wouldn't be okay. So if you didn't know about this, it's probably because it didn't really get reported on. Sadly, it shows how much Donald Trump is disliked. There was a lot of discussion, though, for sure, going on how it wasn't getting reported and why it wasn't made a big deal when it should have. He just hasn't been nice, so people tend to not care about him and what's going on with him. So this election has been crazy and a bit of a joke, but I don't know, maybe because it's been a joke. Maybe that's why I've been able to kind of keep up with this election and understand it because they're speaking my language. But I don't know. I think we might be making history again, though, by having our first female president. But we'll see. I really do think that Hillary Clinton might be uh, taking this. I think she will be our next president, but only time will tell, and we will see what happens. Um, at this moment, I think she is the best one for the job, you guys. I really do. I don't think. Donald Trump would be the best thing for this country. He wouldn't work out. He just wouldn't. So at this point, I want to say that I think Hillary would be the best thing. So, but I don't know. Time will tell, you guys. Time will tell. So let's move on to something a little different. And have you ever heard of the foreign accent syndrome? Well, you will now if you haven't heard about it. But I first found out about it when I learned about a woman from Texas who had jaw surgery, and after it was all done, she was left with a British accent. Now, CBS News reported that this is a rare neurological disorder. The woman, whose name is Lisa, had jaw surgery to fix an overbite. However, there was some nerve damage which led to her having foreign accent syndrome. So she's now speaking with this British accent and she's no longer speaking how she used to. There have been, let's see, I think it was like a few cases. There have been, yeah, there's been more cases like this, but CBS News actually reported that there have been fewer than 100 people worldwide who have been diagnosed with this syndrome. So some people that have been diagnosed with foreign accent syndrome have gotten it because they had a stroke that caused some brain damage. So there's different ways of getting it, but I don't know if this is something you would want. So poor Lisa, she now has her British accent and she just deals with it. So be aware that foreign accent syndrome exists and you could get it. Okay, it could just happen to you. So this happened in Texas. She is from Texas. So poor Lisa, poor Lisa. Now people think she's, you know, British or something. But yeah. All right. Well, I don't know if you guys have also heard about the whole Barney head incident that happened, but and let me ask you guys this: have you guys ever gotten your head stuck inside a big Barney head? I don't know. I mean, this sounds weird, but it happened. Someone got their head stuck in a giant Barney head not too long ago. A young girl from Trussville, Alabama, got her head stuck inside a giant Barney head. Her name is Darby, and she's 15 years old. I guess she found the Barney head at a friend's house, and she wanted to prank her friends with it by wearing it and trying to scare them. I don't know how she was going to accomplish that because if my friend popped out with a big Barney head, I mean, I wouldn't be scared. I I would actually be like, what the hell are you doing? Because you look ridiculous in that. But the joke, actually ended up being on her because she got her head stuck in this thing. She could not get it off. Her friends tried to help her, but no luck. It was funny, but at the same time, you guys, it was not funny because she started getting claustrophobic. Now, I get claustrophobic very easily. Like, it happens very, very fast. I hate the feeling just thinking about it. I mean, I would have probably panicked. I would have gone crazy. So poor thing got claustrophobic, and her friends even tried to use Vaseline to get the damn head off, but it wasn't working. So they decided to get some help from the fire department in Trussville, and the firefighters were obviously amused by the whole thing because it was a first for them, but they were able to get it off of her, and uh, they actually drove to the fire department because they didn't want the fire department to come over to the house because they didn't really want like the neighbors to know what was going on, and they didn't want there to like be a scene or anything. So can you imagine this girl in the car? They're driving to the fire department and she just has this big Barney head on. But yeah, so they went over there. Yeah, they went over there, took it off. Darby was embarrassed by the whole thing, but now all she can do is just laugh about it. And I guess there have been memes about it too. I haven't really seen them all, but I've seen a few, and some of them were actually really, really funny. So if you're interested in checking out the whole this whole meme thing with the whole Barney head, go check it out. And see what it's all about. All right, so let's move on to another little situation. Well, pretty big situation that happened. Sending nudes to a minor. So apparently, there was a karate instructor that sent nudes to her 11-year-old student. This took place in Orlando, Florida. So Stephanie was arrested. She was the instructor. She's 20 years old. And I guess she can't find a man her age. I don't know what the deal is. But she was teaching karate at the Next Gen Martial Arts Studio in Orlando. So, parents, watch out for that studio. They might be teaching your children a little more than karate. So, I guess Stephanie solicited her 11-year-old student for sex. The boy's mother was the one that contacted the police after she found very inappropriate text messages from Stephanie on her son's phone. Now, Stephanie had sent him nudes and even a video. A video, you guys. Now, I'm assuming she was not teaching him karate in that video. Okay? So it's crazy. The police does believe that there are more victims out there and they are doing their best to take care of the situation. So Stephanie was released after her arrest, but it was on bail. I don't know. She's gross, you guys. This is just... Parents, check your phones. I mean, check your kids' phones, okay? And I guess she actually texted the boy, like literally stating that she wanted to have sex with him. And he texts back, okay, IDC, meaning he didn't care and pretty much rejected her. So this 20-year-old got rejected by an 11-year-old. Talk about embarrassing and very disgusting. Very, 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 very disgusting. So there have been a lot of tragedies going on lately. Some of them have, some of them have been, let me see, how do I say this? So some of them were dealing with shootings, guns, all that stuff. And there's something else that happened. There was a German theater shooting. There was a gunman who opened fire in a theater located in a town in Western Germany. The gunman was masked and loaded, ready to open fire. It was reported that 25 people were injured, but then it was later reported that no one was critically hurt. So hopefully that's, true, that no one was critically hurt and they haven't gotten it wrong, So, and hopefully I don't get it wrong either because, I'm telling you guys. So pretty much the police shot and killed the gunman. And it's a tough one, you guys. I loved going to the movies all the time. And recently, I just don't go as much anymore because I do have that fear sometimes that, well, what if something does happen, When I do go, there are moments where I'm like sitting down and as soon as somebody gets up and they're like walking by me or even behind me, whatever, I tend to like look at their hands and just, I observe them completely and make sure that they're not about to like do something. So I don't know. I think I'm just paranoid, but I mean, can you blame me? There's just been so much that's been happening. Shootings, guns, all that stuff. At this point, I just wish guns did not exist because it's just horrible. There's a lot of things that are happening where guns were involved and it just hasn't been good. So, yeah. So that's all I have for that portion for this segment right now. So what we are going to do is we are actually going to go into a break and we will be back shortly after this message. Thank you guys so much for listening. I really appreciate it. Hey everyone, just want to remind you guys that you guys are listening to Exclusively Here with Diego Santoyo. I hope you guys are enjoying the podcast so far. Exclusively here with Diego Santoyo is made available to everyone by 12 a.m. or 6 a.m. every Friday, and you can find my podcast on my website, which is diegosantoyo.com. Thank you for listening. All right, you guys, we are back. Thank you so much for joining me for the second portion of my podcast. I really appreciate it. So now I want to dive into pop culture. So let's go ahead and do that. And we'll start off with our very first topic, the camera thief. So Oliver Camilo is the one behind celebrity emoji apps for celebrities like Future, Amber Rose, and Rick Ross, along with others. He recently got arrested for stealing a camera that belonged to a YouTuber. I guess the camera belonged to Alex Wasabi. He has more than 1 million subscribers on his vlogs channel, so he's pretty well known. He's a pretty well known YouTuber. This whole thing went down at LAX, and Alex was with his friend at the time, who also happens to be a YouTuber. His name is Yusuf. Yusuf is also a well known YouTuber. Um, the whole thing was captured on camera, and if you go to Yusuf's channel, Dosa Fuzi, you can see the whole thing play out there. So he does have a video. Check it out. It's really interesting. You can see the whole thing play out. Everything's like in it, so you can literally watch from beginning to end. But pretty much Oliver got arrested, and after denying that he didn't have Alex's camera, guess what? It turns out that he did. Oliver is claiming that he was going to give it back, but because Yusuf was so aggressive with him, it made him not want to hand it over right away. Which I don't know if I can believe that, because when I watched the video and just like looking at things, just looking at things overall and just observing things, um, I don't know. It looks like Oliver was going to keep it and just take off with it. I honestly don't think he was going to give it back. But then again, I'm not so positive of that. Only he knows what he was going to do with that camera. And yeah, that's that. So I don't know. I would hope that he would want to give it back because it has all of Alex's content in it, and you know, Alex needs all of that obviously for his YouTube channel. So I don't know, but it seemed like he was probably going to keep that camera, which is a bit embarrassing because he is a CEO and he's wealthy, so I don't know why he would feel the need to steal a camera. So either he was going to actually take it home or he really just didn't give it back right away because of the way that Yusuf came at him from what he claims. So who knows? But that's that for that. So let's move on to a different topic and talk a little bit about Ben Affleck. So I don't know if you guys tuned into Any Given Wednesday with Bill Simmons. I did not tune in, but I did learn that it's a new HBO talk show. Bill had Ben Affleck on as a guest, and Ben did not seem okay. I saw a clip, and through it, he was ranting on and slurring. He talked about Tom Brady, and he seemed to be very passionate about him. It was weird because Ben, something about him, it just seemed like he was on something, but it's been reported that he was not on anything. So, I mean, I don't really know. But TMZ did report that Ben and Bill had apparently gotten into a heated debate before the camera started filming. So when cameras actually started rolling, I guess he was already fired up and it made him look a bit crazy. Almost as if he was on crack. I don't know. So, but yeah, so apparently there was that heated debate before the cameras actually, started rolling. But who knows? Who knows how accurate that is? But I mean, TMZ's reporting on it, so it must be right. It must be true. But it got him pretty fired up, though, so that once the cameras began showing everything, I mean, he was just made to look crazy. But yeah, so if you have not seen the footage, go check it out. It's really interesting and there's a lot of explicit language, so make sure there are no children around. But it's pretty funny though because I believe Bill Simmons' show just premiered. So this was like a perfect way to have it introduced to everyone because everyone pretty much is like starting to know about it. And I mean it's out there, like, hey, I have a show, it's out there, and it was all thanks to Ben because of the way that he was acting. So that's pretty cool for Bill. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to a different topic, dealing with Cristiano Ronaldo. Have you heard what Cristiano Ronaldo did? Well, if you haven't, I'm going to tell you right now. And apparently, he threw a reporter's microphone into a lake. So he was out in France, and a reporter approached him and asked him if he was ready for his match later in the day. Well, I guess he was having a bad day because he answered by taking the mic away from the reporter and tossing that thing in the water. The reporter spoke out after this happened and said that he was not sure why Cristiano did this because he says they are a well-known TV channel. He thinks maybe it had to do with Cristiano not liking some of the things they report on him, but who knows, right? I mean, I think it might have just been a bad day for him. I don't know. But the reporter has not received an apology from him or anything like that. And there is a clip of it. So if you're interested in watching it, go check out the clip. I found the clip to be a little awkward, but go check it out. Cristiano definitely seemed though like he was not in, a good mood. So maybe he just didn't want to be bothered. And he was, when he asked him the question, he was just like, you know what? Getting your mic and I'm going to toss it in the water so you don't ask me anything else anymore. But who knows? So let's move on to Kylie Jenner. So Kylie Jenner is moving on, not from a man, not anything like that, but from her home. So just over a year ago, I don't know if you guys remember, but just over a year ago, Kylie bought a beautiful home in Calabasas. Really, really big home. It was about, I believe, 4,800 square feet. And she bought the home for $2.7 million. She renovated the home and is now selling it. So now she's asking for $3.9 million. The home has a pool, 5 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms. I mean, it's pretty massive. There's no way that she should be, pissing outside. I mean, she has restrooms for days. So, really, really big house. And by the way, did I mention she's only 18? Only 18. She's only 18, you guys. So let that sink in. Let that sink in. But TMZ reported that she has a new house now in Hidden Hills, which is the same neighborhood as her sister Kim and mother Chris. So looks like she's going to be moving in a little closer to them. But apparently she put down $6 million for this new pad back in May, from what TMZ was stating. But yeah, so good for her. I mean, good for her. I think it's pretty awesome if she can afford all of this, and if she can do it, go do it. I mean, she has been working for a lot of this. She really has. I'm not gonna hate because she really, really has worked for a lot of this. I mean, she. I don't know if a lot of you guys are aware of this, but she has a book out. It's called Rebels, and she wrote it with her sister Kendall. Well, actually, I don't think they wrote it because I think it was ghost written. But I mean, she has her book out, and then she also has her cosmetics line, which was a huge hit. I mean, huge, huge hit. All the girls want everything that she has. So I mean, obviously she's making a crap load of money off of her cosmetics line. And then on top of that, she has the reality show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. And then on top of that, she's appeared on I Am Kate. So she has a lot of great platforms and she's making her money. She really, really is. So good for her. Good for her. Ain't gonna hate. So congratulations on being able to buy a $2.7 million home and then selling it for 3.9, and now putting down 6 million for probably a bigger home. So that's pretty cool. All right. So Let's move on to Sia. Sia is revealed, you guys. Sia was revealed. So everyone knows that Sia does not show her face when she performs. Well, that changed. Recently, when she was performing in Colorado Wednesday night, a strong rush of wind blew her hair back enough to allow everyone to see her face for the first time in a while. So some people believe that it was never really her singing, but this proves that it has been her the entire time. So she looks great, and not letting people see her face is done for privacy reasons. I mean, you can go check out the picture if you want out online. It's definitely up, and you can see it. Um, I love Sia. I think she's really cool. I love her music. She seems like she's a great person. So yeah, but that's that. That's all I have for you guys today. And as my podcast goes on, it'll probably get the time frame will probably grow, and I'll probably have more stuff for you guys. But for now, this is it. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and that's that. So thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Remember to be happy, and much love to everyone. Peace out.